All right, so the last piece measures 3/4 of an inch thick by 2 3/4 of an inches wide by 3 3/4 inches wide. Now I'm going to do something just a little bit different in here. In the past, I've been giving you the starting square, the starting shape uh, as the width and the length, and then we extrude the thickness. And that's perfectly acceptable, and that's kind of the way I generally start out with doing that so that it is the two bigger sizes in my initial sketch, and then I extrude the smallest. Depending on what you're doing and what your design is, that may or may not be the way you want to do it. But so I'm going to kind of just walk through a couple of these with you. So I just want you to watch for a few minutes before you then go and do it on your own. So I'm going to create a new part. And at this point, it doesn't necessarily really matter which plane we draw on. So just for something different, I'm going to go ahead and select the YZ plane here instead to draw on. Now, doing it by the width and the length, so I can go ahead with create my rectangle, and I can come up here and I said that the width was 2 3/4. So if I don't know that 3/4 is 0.75 or the decimal equivalent, I can enter 2 3/4 in like a formula where we've got the whole number plus fraction. So let me tab over to that, and this will be 2 plus, so oh, that's the divide, so 2 plus 3 divided by 4. So that's the same thing as saying 2 3/4. Hit tab now, and this will be 3 plus 3/4, and enter. So now let's go ahead and hit the right view of my plane. So you'll see I've got that dimension. We can finish sketch here. So hit my home, and now I can extrude that. And we can extrude this by 0.75. So there we go. I'm ready. We just apply the material. That's the one method, but I'm going to delete this. So I'm going to go here to extrusion 1. I'll right click on it, and I'm going to delete that out of there. Notice it comes up and says, additionally, delete the consumed sketches and features. Well, in this case, I also want to do that. Yep, because we're going to get rid of that sketch. We're going to start all over. So there we go. Now, instead of extruding the width and the length, or instead of sketching the width and the length, I'm going to sketch the thickness and the width. So let me show you what I mean. So we'll go ahead with the start sketch. Again, we'll go ahead here on the XY plane, and I will sketch the rectangle. So again, picking up on the origin point. Now in this case, I do want to be 3/4 here. So I'll go ahead and enter 0.75, and I'll hit tab. And now I want to be 2 plus 3/4 and enter, so that I've got that in there. Let's go ahead and bring this in. There you can see I've got 3/4 here and 2 3/4 on this one. So we'll finish that sketch out. Now in this case, now rather than extruding 3/4, I'm going to extrude this by 3 3/4 or 3.75. So I'll just change that. So let's go ahead and have it go the opposite direction and hit OK. I'll come over to my home screen, or to my view cube over here, and hit the home button on my view cube. So we got that. Last thing, we want to make sure that we assign this as oak to. So we'll come over here, scroll down, and make this wood oak as far as our feature goes. Now we're done. So this is going to be the stop that we're going to attach this to the top to help it kind of seat itself on your project once it's glued up. So we'll go ahead and save as TOP, top hyphen first initial last name. So let me go back. I put a underscore instead of a hyphen. There you go. So top hyphen your first initial, your last name. Make sure you navigate and store it on the desktop, and hit save. So yes. So looks like I've already got one, probably from earlier, so that's okay. We'll go ahead and say yes. We'll go ahead and overwrite that one and bring this one in there. So, all right. So there we go. We're done with that one. So we've now gotten all of the parts that we need to go ahead and create our drawing or create our assembly. So that'll be the next step that we use and go through, is to create an assembly drawing. Gets a little bit more complicated with that, but I'm sure that you guys will catch on to it pretty quick once we get started. So, all right, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.